Did you know that despite the fact that the United States is home to roughly the top 1,000 highest peaks in the Rocky Mountains, it's not home to the most prominent peak? Instead, the most prominent peak in all of the Rockies is located in Canada. This is Mount Robson. Mount Robson is located in eastern British Columbia, near the border with Alberta. Standing at an elevation of 12,972 feet, or 3,954 meters, Mount Robson is the second highest mountain located entirely within British Columbia, and the highest mountain in all of the Canadian Rockies. Not only that, but with 9,281 feet, or 2,829 meters of prominence, Mount Robson is the most prominent mountain in all of the Rocky Mountains, which stretch nearly 3,000 miles, or 5,000 kilometers, from New Mexico all the way to northern Canada. Now, for those who may not be familiar, topographic prominence is simply a measure of the minimum elevation that you could theoretically travel down the slopes of a mountain before you had to start climbing back up a mountain with a higher elevation. Prominence is different than relief, which is simply a measure of how high a mountain rises above the surrounding topography, although Mount Robson isn't exactly lacking in that category either, as its southwestern face rises nearly 10,000 feet or 3,000 meters above Kinney Lake. Put all these impressive attributes together, and you undoubtedly get one of Canada's most impressive and beautiful mountains. First Nations peoples, who were the first known inhabitants of the region, called the mountain Yahai-Haskun, which fittingly translates to striped rock. But the name Mount Robson was given to the mountain in the 1820s, and it was probably named after Colin Robertson, a man who worked for both the Northwest Company and the Hudson's Bay Company in the early 1800s, although it is unclear if the mountain is truly named after him. Mount Robson is also informally known as Cloud Cab Mountain, and personally, I think that name is a little more fitting. But regardless, Mount Robson was first climbed in 1913 by members of the Alpine Club of Canada, and at the time it was regarded to be one of the most difficult climbs in all of North America. Now, believe it or not, that reputation persists to this day, as despite the fact that Mount Robson is less than 13,000 feet or 4,000 meters, it has a success rate of roughly 10%, which means that only 1 out of 10 climbers that attempt the mountain reach its summit. This shockingly low success rate can be attributed to a number of factors, including long approaches, short weather windows, and mandatory technical climbing no matter what route you take to the summit. But you certainly don't need to climb Mount Robson to appreciate its beauty. The mountain is the centerpiece of the Mount Robson Provincial Park, which offers virtually limitless opportunities for hiking, camping, and backpacking. This includes the